What's up, Infected? It's Wolf of the Quarantine, and I have a small little review for you for a game that's coming to Kickstarter by the name of Flaming Pyramid. Now, this isn't the official box, but as you see, this is the entire game. This is from Cheeky Parrot Games. Now, Flaming Pyramid is a game where the players are a group of villagers, and they're trying to build a pyramid using the materials they have, such as, rocks and logs and straw and stuff like that. And they're trying to build a pyramid using all of it. So whoever runs out of cards first is going to be declared the winner. But where the game kind of kicks up a little bit is it has a very Uno style. Of course, you're trying to be the first one to run out of cards. But there's also a spatial awareness because you're building a pyramid. So you start off, 2 cards and put one on top. That has to be lighter than the sum of the cards below it, which is, of course, lighter than the sum of the cards below it, and so on and so forth, because the base is holding all of the weight above it. But then on top of that, you can only stack certain cards with certain cards. So rather than me rambling on, let's just go check out how it plays. Alright, so starting off, a game of Flaming Pyramids is really simple. To set it up, you're just going to divide all the cards evenly. If there are any that won't divide evenly, you're going to put them face up next to each other, forming the bottom of the pyramid. On your turn, each player is going to draw 5 cards from all of theirs, set it off to the side, and bam, you're ready to play. It's really simple. Now what you're going to do is you're going to place a card. Really, the first round, it doesn't matter which card. But you'll want something high, and it'll make sense. So, for example, maybe I put this green 60 down. And then this player, they look at their hand, and maybe they put the 120 down. Now, the third player, because they're able to, there is a foundation of 2 cards, they have to put the next card on top of it. So it has to be either green or yellow, and it has to be a 60 or a 120, and it has to be under the combined weight of this. This is 120 and 60, so under 180, I'm sure they can do that. So for example, they could put this green 10 if they want and put that up there. Boom! This completes this pyramid. So now it goes back to this player, and you do the same thing, but now, because you don't put anything here, you put this here. This player, of course, then puts this would work. This is a 30, even though it doesn't match this color or this color, they can put the 30 up here because the 30 matches this 30. And this player would now have to place up here, so maybe they also put, boom, a yellow 30 because it's 30, matches this. These combined is 30 and 10, so that's 40. This still does that. So you can see how this is going to be a bigger problem as time goes on. So let's say, in this situation, these are the cards that this player has at their disposal. So this is where the problem starts to arise. They can only put either a red or a green, or a 30 or 40. None of which they have except for the wild card. Now the wild card has a weight of 200. So if they put this here, this is going to exceed the weight. So what's going to happen is these break, and this either falls down here or falls down here. And then you continue to break. So let's say we put it there. Now, the wild, of course, is always going to match the color, but now it's still too heavy for these. So this is going to break, and this falls down here. So then you now have to start, these would go on the bottom of their discard pile, or on the bottom of their deck, and then you would continue to play. So, of course, the next card has to go here, and then because you can put a card on top of one, the next card would have to go here, and then you continue building up the pyramid. Now, we have 2 special cards, the 2 fire cards. Now, you have the wheat fire. The way the wheat fire works is if it's ever placed next to other wheat, it'll catch all the wheat on fire. So if I place this here, both of these burn, and they go back to my hand. Now, the wood fire works a little differently. The wood fire, I can place this here, because again, this is red, so it could go on top of there, because it has a combined weight of 204 and 7, so it's good. But by me placing this here, this catches this on fire as well. On top of that, the wood fire also catches wheat on fire as well. So you now have to strategically place these. So you need to note that the wheat fire won't catch wood, but it'll catch other wheat on fire. Now, if you get an event like this, where I place one fire adjacent to another, because again, this wheat fire was perfectly fine there. It wasn't catching any fires, everything's good to go. But I put this log fire here, and now there's 2 fires next to each other. Now it causes an explosion, and these 2 cards are going to be removed from the game. and all of the cards surrounding them have been blown up and they go into your discard pile. This is going to go on until one player loses all of their cards, and that player will be declared the winner. And for the most part, that's how you play Flaming Pyramid. So, what do I think? Well, I'm going to start off by saying I hate Uno. I detest Uno. It's an awful, awful game. I don't know, I do not enjoy Uno. I've actually, one game that was on Kickstarter, that I actually put on Kickstart Your Week, I wound up not backing it because I realized it's really just Uno, and that was, I think, Into the Woods, which sucks because I'm a big American McGee fan. I hate Uno, and I knew it was a game I would never, ever play, but the artwork looked cool. So, this game is basically Uno. So what do I think about it? I actually really, really dig this game. This game is super cool, it's super light, and because you add that spatial element to Uno, it's more of it feels more like a strategic decision. Do you put this rock, on top of this, do you put the rocks in the bottom because it provides you a more stable base and you build up from there? Or do you screw your buddies and go, you know what? We'll put, you put two, a rock and a rock, I'm going to put a red wheat here. Have fun trying to put something on top of that, but then when it comes back around to you, maybe, your buddy collapsed the pyramid. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Now it's your turn to put on top of that because they didn't have to break that for, whatever reason. Something happened, maybe fire or whatever. Now it's your turn to be placing on top of that, so you screwed yourself. Good job. And you come across that quite a bit in this game. It's very basic. And there's always going to be that time because you're trying to maybe hold off on playing that wheat fire because that wheat fire sucks so bad. The log fire sucks even worse, but maybe you're holding on to it because there's no good place to place it right now. Or maybe there is, but maybe it weighs too much. Or maybe, not the right color or something like that. And so you're trying to figure out, because you have to play it. You have to play your last card. So you're trying to figure out, when can I place this so I'm not going to screw myself and burn everything? So you wind up holding on to it to usually one of your last cards. And so because of that, you wind up burning part of the pyramid or something along those lines. And now, guess what? You don't have those cards. But the good thing is, once they're used and they screw somebody over, they are removed from the game. But then on top of that, if they collapse, maybe you were able to strategically put it, and your buddy makes them collapse. Well, guess what? Now your buddy has that card, and it's just going to be that much harder for your buddy to place it. So it's a very, very light game. If you like games, again, like Uno, check this one out, because it's Uno but better. It's got a spatial element to it. Just simply adding that spatial element to it, and you don't hold all your cards in your hand. You only get to pick a 5 out of your whole deck. So because of that, it winds up making it much more strategic, much more, when do you play this card? When's going to be a good time to play it? Most of the time, unless you're running really short on cards, you're going to be able to play a card. So it's just a matter of which card are you going to play. So that is my review for Flaming Pyramid. It is a fantastic little game. Now in my reviews, I do like to point out, what people may not like about this game. And really, that's going to be really difficult for me to say with this game. Really, the only problems that the game really has, of course, you are dealing with cards, so there is going to be that luck factor involved. Maybe you're not drawing the cards that you need. So that is going to be a problem. And really, the only other thing that I can think of is, maybe if you're not good with numbers, you're playing with much younger children. You have to place the sum of the two. When you place a card, it has to be weigh less than the sum of the cards below it. So if you're playing with younger children that maybe have trauma, or maybe elderly, or handicapped, or anything like that, anybody who has trouble with math or numbers, anything like that, they may have a problem with the game. Other than that, there's not many problems with the game. As you saw earlier, it's this big, so it's a teeny tiny game. It doesn't take up much real estate at all. It's easily a pocket game. Really, my biggest concern is how they're going to put the rulebook in with it. Of course, it's definitely going to have to be a little bit bigger of a box. But that's really it. The game is fantastic. It's simple. It's loads of fun. I did not expect to enjoy this game as much as I did. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time in the quarantine.